Schulte, what are you wearing in your web picture?
I don't know which picture you're looking at, Kathy.
Okay, I'm sorry. Are you so famous that you actually don't have time to look at your ridiculous picture on the webpage? Where, by the way, Claire actually looks charming, and you two men look ridiculous.
We are ridiculous.
Well, yes.
Is there pictures of
buy your neckties?
Okay.
We hide behind Claire's charm.
I'm looking like my eyes are looking way off to the right or left.
Yeah, Schulte, what's the problem?
That's. I was trying to be interesting.
Okay, so you're like perplexed, but you think you look mysterious and pensive.
Yes, because I hate having my picture taken, Kathy.
All right, so let me ask you this, because I know this drill. So, Schulte, who is it that you think you're kind of emulating? Like, do you think you're doing kind of like a Jared Leto, burning with passion look in that face, or what's going on?
I'm looking interesting for sure, but something else is going on that I'm not a part of, and I don't necessarily approve of it.
All right, now, is this also your Tinder profile pic?
Yes, exactly. Are you swiping?
I'm swiping the one. Which way do you swipe when you want to sleep with them?
I'm not sure.
right?
I'm not either.
Kathy Griffin
All right,
just
now,
hit on me.
Swan,
Yes, Kathy.
you look like the guy from Cheap Trick. You got your hat on, and I just watched the Hall of Fame last week, so I can
Surrender.
You have the same
Surrender.
tie, which is a little sketchy, and then you look like you're wearing a man bag.
Well,
It's suspenders.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's so much cooler. I meant to say, thank goodness you're wearing your Claire, how do you survive in this environment? How?
It's tough, Kathy, but I manage.
she cries a lot.
So much crying.
These guys.
Oh, my God. No one. That's the problem.
Yeah, you cannot allowed to you can't dress yourselves anymore.
It's so
Who's
hard.
Your stylist.
Stylist.
Why don't you call Rachel Zoe?
No one takes our calls. You
Do you
kidding
have
me?
her number?
Claire, do they not even know who Rachel Zoe is?
I know who she is.
Who is she?
She is a stylist who has her own show.
Okay,
She's
good.
blonde. She is, right?
Yeah, you're doing really well.
No,
I'm so
I know
proud.
she is.
Okay, you two are ridiculous. Tell me some of your favorite designers that you would wear if you could.
Well,
Tom Ford.
I like one-size-fits-all things, Kathy.
I'm sorry, did you just say one size fits all?
That's what I like.
Like we're at the pregnant lady department.
Yes, I feel more comfortable.
They tend to breathe.
He's got underwear with shoulder pads.
Claire, help me out here. Claire, Claire, fix it. Claire, fix it.
I can't think of a single thing right
All
now.
right, let me do this. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that Schulte and Swann are heterosexual men.
That is true.
That is
Okay.
correct.
I can tell by your clothing because no gay man worth his salt would ever even let you leave the house like that. So I'm going to try to relate to you, even though my show attracts a lot of gay men and women and LGBT folks, but I try to relate to the straights. I understand you people own the world. I get it. So are you ready for this Schulte and Swann guest who came to my show last week to see Kathy Griffin live? And guess who even bought a T-shirt and wore it for a photo?
Who?
Wayne freaking Gretzky.
No.
Yes,
Nice.
the great one.
The great one?
The great one came to a Kathy Griffin show and took me to dinner afterwards.
Well, his daughter's
Wow.
very cool, right?
Yes, but I'm all about the legends.
Yeah.
The daughter's very cool. She's hot. I get it.
Yeah.
But come on.
He-
I'm
no.
from Chicago, Illinois.
He bought a
I'm a
shirt.
hockey fan. And, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, when you come see me at the Paramount in Cedar Rapids Wednesday, May 18th at 8 p.m., thank you, you don't know what you're going to get. I could have a story about Wayne Gretzky or the Kardashians, who, by the way, he knows because they live in the same area,
What?
which has got to be weird.
Well, so now, wait a
when you're
minute.
At the mall,
Wait a minute.
got
You're all
Kardashian running into the greatest of all time. And then I could have a story about, you know, my latest run-in with Leonardo DiCaprio.
No.
Seriously?
Academy Award winner.
Where did that happen?
That happened at the Directors Guild of America Awards, where I was presenting a Lifetime Achievement Award, and I got into a little bit of fun trouble, which is the type of material I will be bringing to the Paramount. It's not, you know, jokes about airline peanuts or the differences between dogs and cats. I am bringing you, you know, I have 2 Emmys and a Grammy, darn it, and I am bringing you my A game.
You got half
I
of he
have
got.
new material every single show, even though I'm in the middle of an 80-city tour. 80 cities.
I know it. That's huge.
Yes.
Are you
that is
tired?
huge.
You got to be tired.
Well, I choose invigorated because I love doing it, and every city is different. Now, look, I have played Cedar Rapids before, so I want you to know if you've seen me there, this is all new. And here's why. As a comedian, when you do a little studying, just a little, on Joni Ernst, it's just funny. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Because, I've been looking up, the governor, Branstad, and I've been, of course, looking up Chuck Grassley, who's been in Congress forever. But Joni wins the prize for just funniest.
Let me ask you this, Kathy.
Yeah.
If Rachel Zoe is going to try to beat Joni Ernst's stylist, what kind of bread bags would she have her put on her shoes?
Well, she would have, obviously, it would be something with... it would have a pig theme. Mm-hmm. So she might do like a new, really edgy, like a hoof shoe. That looks like a hoof.
Edgy
which would
hoof.
be very edgy. No one's done it. Kanye does things in fashion that are, horrible, but I guess people think they're cool. And anything can happen in that world.
And I hate to
you'll never see neckties like you two wear.
I hate to say this, though, like the T-shirt that he had, and it was, bless his heart, it had to do, with mothers and stuff, so I don't even want to call that out, but I don't know how anybody else was going to go buy that.
Yeah.
Who, Kanye?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy to call that out. His clothing is horrible.
Yeah.
It was
it's
a little
like baggy
specific.
potato sacks.
I don't get it, but...
No, I don't get it, although I have to admit that while I have made fun of the Kardashians for many, many, many years for being like a fake reality show, I think that this season it's gotten accidentally real. Next thing you know, you've got, Lamar, I guess, ODing at a brothel, I believe, and now they're taking him back into the fold like he broke a leg. Mm-hmm. And then of course we have Caitlyn, and it's all Caitlyn's world, and we're all revolving around it.
Yeah.
But it's funny that Caitlyn fights with the Kardashians now, at least as much as when Caitlyn was Bruce, if not more. So I think Caitlyn knows where her bread is buttered, which is if you keep fighting with Kardashians, you get airtime.
Oh, yeah.
And also, you have to be happy that Rob Kardashian's been found, because he was missing. And then Black China found him.
Right.
So there's a lot, we have a lot to talk about. But I also, we have to talk about the election because it's so nutty.
We're first in the nation, with the caucuses, so it's all about politics in this state.
Oh, I would be afraid to go to one of those caucuses because I'd be afraid that, one of my neighbors used to like me, and then when they find out that I like Hillary, they, kick my butt.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. There you all are, face to face.
Right, and they're close neighbors. Mm-hmm. I wonder if I would lie. I'm not sure.
Well,
I wonder if I would go in and say that I was for all the candidates. I'd go up to one neighbor and be like, "Oh, I'm ready to make America great again," and then go to another neighbor and go, "I'm with Hillary," and then I go to another one and go, "Whoo, are you feeling the burn? I am."
Speaking of Kathy, Trump.
Okay, I have Trump stories in my act. You have to come see me for those alone because I've known this lunatic for decades.
Yeah.
And I never thought he was, I never put him in my act because, people come to see my show. They want to hear about Cher. They want to hear about Anderson Cooper. They want to hear about, I ran into Sean Penn, who caught El Chapo. That's a good story.
Right.
And now all of a sudden people want to hear about Trump. And I'm like, Donald Trump? Oh, I have 10 Donald Trump stories. I have one story about being in a golf cart that the Donald was driving, and in the back of the golf cart is me and Liza Minnelli.
Oh, my
Wow.
Now,
God.
you're not going to get that story from any comedian ever. I'm not going to tell it now. I'm not going to tell it on TV.
You're not going to give it to us for free.
You have to come see me live.
Okay.
I have many stories that are jaw droppers.
I was just listening to him pretending to be himself in the 70s or 80s, being his own PR guy, doing an interview about him.
What?
Have you seen that yet, Kathy?
Yeah, there's a video out there.
Yeah, look, there's everything from the lifestyles of the rich and famous, where I think he said he was attracted to his daughter. There's so much stuff on him, and that's what I'm saying is I don't know him well, but look, you can Google it. Unfortunately, there's pictures of me and the Donald, but I'm just telling you, I have stories about him that are just nuts because I didn't think he'd be the Republican frontrunner. I just thought he was like a realtor.
Did you feel like it was a tremendous gift, though, when that happened? You're like, oh, my God, he's in my wheelhouse.
That's what I'm saying is when you've been doing stand-up this long, and like I said, when you do 80 cities in a year, you know you got to bring the heat every night.
Right.
And, I'm performing sometimes for audiences that may have seen me live over my career, maybe 3, 4, 5 times because they keep coming back because they know I'm going to give them 2 all-new hours. So for me to have this Trump material at this time is such an amazing gift. And it's stories I've never put in my act before because, he was just kind of the host of The Apprentice. But now... Now the stories really have a new perspective, and so you can come for that. But don't worry, it's certainly peppered in with whomever I've seen, on a talk show that I've done, or any work environment that I've been in, or anything from any of my years and years of television and stuff. So I'm not holding back on anything. And if you come see me live, that's really not for the faint of heart. Let me just say this: don't bring your kids, and probably leave your Bible in the car.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk to you about that.
Night, just for 2 hours. Let's have some fun.
Here's the thing, too, because you're obviously you get described as fearless all the time, and I would think, and maybe it's just because I don't like confrontation or anything, but it seems so exhausting to be on the edge with stuff. Does that ever truly get to you, or you didn't have that?
Because I don't really deal with confrontation, so I have a motto, which is. When people say, if you have something to say about me, say it to my face, I say to them, I would rather wait till you left the room. Mm-hmm. So my act is not so much about confrontations, but it's about I believe that if you have something bad to say about something that's about someone, you should say it behind their backs. I believe that is called manners.
I'm with you.
So I was raised right to talk about people once they've left the room.
Good Chicago Catholic girl.
That's right. You wait till they leave, and then you just let it rip.
Who calls me out for being heterosexual, and then she's a Blackhawks fan.
Hey, that's right.
Yeah.
I look, I didn't appreciate it when Beebs stepped on the logo, let me tell you.
Oh.
So I didn't know how much of a Hawks fan I was. And then I even brought that up to the Great One. Mm-hmm. I said, what do you think about the Beebs stepping on the Hawks logo in the locker room? And then, this is what Wayne Gretzky said to me, I kid you not. Oh, I can't hate Justin Bieber. He's come over to my house several times to sing to my kids.
Oh,
what?
Wow.
What? So, and I'm like, I'm talking to Wayne Gretzky, and he's defending Biebs. I'm like,
wow.
Wayne.
Bizarro world.
I mean, he's like seen, shoeless in a park in Boston. He's like, oh, he's just going through his wild phase. He's a good kid.
Who's out there for you that you haven't met yet that you would literally, have to kind of gather yourself if you got to meet him? Or have you met everybody you want?
Gretzky was one of them. Like, I saw him on a plane recently, and I was too shy to go up to him, which never happens. Mm-hmm. And then that actually got me to reach out to him, so I got his phone number from a mutual friend, and I just called him and just invited him to dinner. But, well, my bucket list person is so not appropriate for this interview, but I want to meet former President Jimmy Carter. I just think he's a pillar of strength and very wise, and I'm not like a religious person, and he's Mr. Religious, but I just think he's one of the great minds, and I think he gets a bad rap because he's, never mind. This is not appropriate for this conversation.
Yeah. Well, you know what, though? You obviously, you have been such a pillar of strength for the gay community, and that's like a real life responsibility in my
well,
view.
It's a real life responsibility, but also there are so many bills being passed now or considered that people don't understand. It's not just discriminatory toward the LGBT community, but it's a way to chip away at equality for all. Mm-hmm. And I've testified on the Hill. I've been an activist for many years, and that's what I feel as an ally. Like the LGBTQIA2, the A is for ally. But I'm just saying this is a civil rights issue. So, one of the ways that I kind of get my little messages across is through humor. But yeah, I have performed for gay audiences since the beginning of my career because I find that there's nothing a gay person probably hasn't heard that can shock them. Mm-hmm. So the last thing they're going to worry about is me being offensive. But also I kind of, identify with people that are more on the outside looking in or disenfranchised. But I just think that what's happening now is that I just want, I'm a 55-year-old woman in a man's field, and I kind of can't believe we're turning back the clock on certain rights. So I get out there, and every time I take the stage and every time I sell out a theater, that's my little act of feminism and showing girls can do it too. Mm-hmm. So,
and now we're talking about bathrooms.
Yeah, I know. And the reason the bathroom issue is real, and it sounds silly, it's like remember when PETA made that big deal about cockroaches? People didn't understand that PETA, look, I'm not a member, they kind of scare me, but I do love dogs. Anyway, PETA was fighting for cockroaches because, believe it or not, it was a way to be able to fight for other animals. So they kind of had to go in that way, and it sounded funny, and people made fun of them. But once I read up on it, I was like, oh, I get it. So as far as the bathroom laws go, I think it's an important law because it's just their way of chipping away at human rights. And so it sounds like this silly thing, like, like Caitlin is going to go into a child's bathroom and, like, harm a child is really not really something that's going to happen. And also it's not something that we should be worrying about in this day and age. So I think that is something that I can have fun with, and I can sort of make fun of, maybe a couple of things Caitlin has said, God love her, and also make fun of the idea that this is now a top-of-mind issue with everything else that's going on that actually does affect our lives. And also shout out to my LGBT friends and also anyone who has been discriminated against in any way, and also jokingly point out who hasn't been to a bar where there's just one bathroom.
No kidding.
Come on. There's unisex bars all over for all ages. So, yeah, this is not what we should be focusing on, although I'm happy to make fun of any laws that turn back the clock.
So Wednesday night, May 18th, what are they going to see when they go to the Paramount Theater and they sit in their seat and wait for Kathy Griffin?
They're going to see An Evening with Kathy Griffin. There's no opener. I'm going to be offensive right off the bat. I don't feel like I've done my job until someone storms out in protest. And I'm going to tell you real deal stories. I'm going to tell you everybody in Hollywood who's naughty, who's nice, and we'll talk about whatever issues are on your mind. Trust me, I'll do all my research and development for Cedar Rapids. Every show is different. I'll open with some local material. I might make fun of you guys to your faces. I will, I do not hold back with anyone. And then at the end of the show, they stand.
Kathy, you're brave, you're funny, and you're damn good at what you do. Yeah. And we can't wait to see you Wednesday night.
You guys are awesome, and thank you so much. And please come see me at the Paramount.
It'll be our pleasure.
All right, thanks.